What's going on, guys? Ryan here, Jedha Patrol. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Iron Man Mark 46 concept art version by Hot Toys, and I could not be more excited to actually take a look at this thing. It has been on my mind to add this to the collection for quite a while, so I want to give a huge thanks to Sideshow Collectibles for making it possible, for sending this figure over for review and allowing us to take a look at this awesome figure. The concept version of Iron Man Mark 46 does not come with a ton of accessories, but honestly, these are probably all the ones you need. Now, previously, I actually owned the original Mark 46. It had the Robert Downey Jr. head sculpt. It had the blaster effects, repulsor blast, and all kinds, I mean, damaged chest piece, all kinds of stuff. But if you want that figure now, you're going to pay upwards of $750, $800, and that thing is insane. So I have a feeling that if you actually want a Mark 46 and you don't want to pay that money, this is actually the Iron Man for you. So let's take a look at what we've got. We've got 3 sets of hands. 2 are obviously on the figure, which are going to be fist hands, punching hands. That's what they're going to be. And then we've got a set of articulated hands, and we got a set of repulsor blast hand. Take a look at the first hand. This is actually going to be the repulsor hand. Now, the reason you want this guy right here, number one, he's got the LED light up here function, so it goes through the forearm. But right here, if you're new to Iron Man, it actually has this joint right here. It's a 90-degree angle. So you peg it in the hand right there, and it'll actually look up right there. So if you don't have this piece right here actually gets in the way, which actually we'll put one right here. You can see the other one. And the difference between these guys, this one bends up and this one's flat, so there's no way you could actually do it with this hand. But right here, this thing looks absolutely beautiful. Now, this particular hand is not articulated. That's pretty much the hand you're going to get, but it does have the LED pass-through function right here, which is awesome. So you have a right and a left version of that. Now, on the other hands, these right here are the articulated hands. These are awesome because these have every joint, and you have in your own hand, your own fingers, your own knuckles. This figure has it as well, so you can actually bend every one of these and have them doing all kinds of whatever kind of signs you want them to have. Open hands. I mean, it doesn't matter what you want, but those are pretty cool. So you want to be careful with these. Make sure you take your time if you're going to be adjusting these, because you can break them if you're a little heavy-handed with it. But it does have the LED pass-through as well, so you can get that going on. And they actually go on very, very easily. Not hard at all to put on these Iron Man hands. So we also have a couple extra pieces right here. We've got some shoulder armor. These are interchangeable pieces. You got a right and left shoulder armor where you had the missiles kind of coming out of that. So that is pretty amazing. And the detail and the paint work in here is just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. You do have some battle damage, which you also saw on the original Mark 46. So you're going to see some battle damage going here, some scars. Pretty awesome there. Now, I will tell you this. Warning. On the back of these are magnets. These connect to the actual body of the figure. These come out easily. So I actually had on, let's see here, on this piece and these two, I actually had to re-glue these magnets. So if that happens to you, don't freak out. Just get some glue them back in there. Make sure you glue them in the right polarity so you don't have any problems with that. But don't be surprised if your figure shows up like this. I've had several Iron Man figures, and pretty much every one of them has had that same issue, so it didn't really freak me out, but it might freak you out if it's your first Iron Man. So we do have these forearm rocket firing pieces right here. You have a right and a left. I really, really like these. Absolutely love these things. I think that is a super cool piece. So again, with the magnets, this is one of the ones I had to glue back on. But look at that detail. Look at that. That is super cool. I'm definitely using these in my display. Taking a look up close at the figure, this guy is beautiful. Now, I just recently got rid of the Neon Tech Iron Man that was a STCC exclusive last year, and then kind of ended up at NYCC. It was a thing. I just got rid of that thing because on the shelf, unless you've got the black light or LEDs, UV lights shining on that thing, it just had no shelf presence whatsoever. So for me, if it doesn't look good on the shelf by itself without 400 lights on it, I just, I got rid of it. So that tells you what's up with that. Now this one right now, whether you've got the LEDs on or not, it looks amazing. So we'll take a look at this guy up close and see what he's all about. Taking a look at Iron Man up close, you can tell right here, this is classic Iron Man. This isn't the nanotech, this isn't the stealth version, this isn't the, you know, the Igor and all the other crazy Hulkbuster stuff. This is classic Iron Man, straight from the comics, and that's really, I really, really like this version of him. And I wish we had saw this color scheme in Civil War. I think I would have liked that one a little better than the original version, honestly. but you know, they didn't, so this is what we got. But at least we got concept version. So take a look at the head sculpt. A couple things you want to know. One, it does have a pretty good amount of articulation going around the side. So you can obviously, you can go all the way around. Looking up, you can look up a decent amount. Looking down, you can actually look down a decent amount as well. So if you want to have him, you know, kind of doing some kind of pose where he's looking down on, let's say, the Winter Soldier, for you know, instance, or Cap, or whatever you want to do, you can do that. If you want to put the batteries in, you just pull out this piece right here. It pops right off. Again, there's a magnet right there. But that switch right there for the LED in the heads. I will tell you, the batteries, if you leave them on for a while, they start flickering, and then they're not going to die, but they get really, really dim after like 3 or 4 or 5 minutes. They just really go dim. So that's why I never really used the batteries in the Neon Tech, because I knew it wasn't going to last. And now I've got this guy, and whether you got the batteries in or not, it doesn't matter. But that's where they're at. You don't have to worry about that. They're actually very easy to put in. There are a lot of batteries. I think there's 26 LEDs on this figure. It's crazy. Moving on down the figure, take a look at the arc reactor. Now, just like the Civil War version of this figure, you actually have a removable chest plate. So all you gotta do is pop this little bad boy off right here, and there you go. And again, this is a peg. This is not magnet. They just peg in. But you can look at the detail they've got on this thing. Man, look at that. That is crazy cool. Now, you can have them lit up like this. If you want to flip the back switch on, you have the LED shining through the arc reactor, you can do that. You can have them displayed like this. Now, the Civil War version, the Mark 46, had a damaged chest plate where Cap had smashed his shield through it. You do not get that with this version, so that is the downside. I kind of did like that piece, but still, that's pretty cool. So there's the arc reactor, and then one of the other cool pieces, if we take a look, we'll just zoom this thing out just a second, taking a look at the shoulders. Now, one of the things with Iron Man is being able to hide joints, hide you know, gaps and that kind of stuff, and they done a very good job on this one with the shoulder. So we can actually pop these shoulders out. If you want some more articulation, you can pop them out right in here. And you have this piece right here, which is disconnected from this, and you can actually have this stuff covered up. So if you want to have that going up this way, you can shove it that. You can move them this way. There's a lot you can do, because they've actually allowed that joint to pop out. And so articulation is amazing with this figure, which is one of the reasons why they charge so much for these things, because the engineering is absolutely insane. It is absolutely insane. But if you want it, you know, the crease or the gaps real tight, you got them like here. All you gotta do is push that joint back in, cover it up with this piece, and you're good to go. When I was putting in the batteries, one of the compartments is on the underside of this piece right here. It was kind of a pain to get off the first time, and then after that, it came off pretty easily after that. So be careful of that. If you're taking the batteries off, there's a piece underneath this shoulder piece, and you want to be mindful of that. Now, as well, you've got these pieces up here, these shoulder armor. These are magnetic. I showed you those a little earlier, so I can get that piece off. You can do it. You can do it. Oh, see, I got this thing right here. There we go. Okay. These hold on with the magnets, like I showed you earlier. These are one of the magnets that came off, and I had to glue back on. You actually just change these pieces out. They go on very easily. You just got to be mindful of it. Don't get it caught underneath the shoulder piece like I just did right there, but they just snap right on, which is pretty cool. Magnets are awesome as long as the magnet stays on the piece that it's supposed to stay on. We do have, over here, we do have a pretty good range of motion. I mean, he's going to be able to hold his arms out pretty wide. You're not going to have any issues with that. Right there, look at that. No issues whatsoever. You're going to have a bicep swivel right there, and you're going to have, of course, your double jointed elbows if you want to get some crazy poses. He can actually do a pretty good job showing off the bicep, so we got that going on there as well. And we do have on the forearm, there are 2 pieces that are removable. The bottom piece down here is kind of a pain, not going to lie. It's plastic. Be careful, that's where the LED batteries go, and the switch is there. And then you've got on here, this piece right here is where another one of the forearm rockets, that's where they go. If you want to use these rocket pieces, the forearm pieces, like I said, they are magnetic. You just got to pop this off. I found it's a lot easier to pop the hand off first. So it does pop off just like that, and then right under here, if you can get your fingernail or something underneath this part, it typically comes off pretty easy. The magnet is not super strong. There it goes right there. So you just kind of pop that off. And then you can pop the other piece on. So they're very easily to deal with. It's easier to come from this side than it is from this side. Just a little tip for you guys. And like I said, don't freak out if the magnet comes off, but there you go. As far as the LEDs go, there are LEDs in the shoulder. There's a switch in the shoulder, there's a switch in the head, a switch in the forearm on the underside of this right here. And there's this, you saw it in the video, there's tons of LEDs. So we got that going on. And of course, then the LEDs actually shine through this gap right here, this light, which goes through your hands, your repulsor blast, all that kind of fun stuff, which is pretty awesome. On the back of the figure, he actually has these 4 flaps. I guess they're stabilizer flaps he had in the movie. So you do have those, you can fold those up. Now be careful of those, because you know, they're plastic, they can pop off. If they do, you're in trouble, so don't do that. Just be very careful of this guy. But if you want to have him displayed like this for a while, just be mindful, don't let him fall over, because I guarantee you the weight of this guy, if he falls backwards on these things, they're going to snap, and you're going to have a very bad day. In the center of the back, there's actually a piece right here that pops right off. That's where your main batteries are for the arc reactor, and there's a switch right there. That's probably, that one and the head are the easiest switches to get to. The others are a pain, they're difficult. So if I was going to turn any on just for my own personal pleasure in the office, I'd probably just have the headpiece on and then that piece right there, because they're just really easy to turn on and off. Again, for more articulation, they've built in a pretty cool feature with Iron Man, which is you actually have these flaps on the hips. So this piece right here and this piece right here flip open, obviously on both sides, to allow range of motion for the leg to go more out to the side and get that ground pound, that landing motion. If you want that pose, you absolutely need to use these. Definitely flip these up before you go mess around with the legs. Be careful of that, because if you get these stuck underneath the flap of the leg, you can risk damaging them, scratching them, or even breaking them off. So you want to be careful about that. Continuing our way down the leg, obviously guys, you guys can see the detail on this. There is a reason these figures cost upwards of $400 and sometimes more. Look at this thing. This is a die-cast figure. It is very well made, ratcheted knees, joints. I mean, just absolutely beautiful. Taking a look at both Iron Man and concept art Captain America together, these guys are just, they look fantastic together. I'm going to have them battling in the cabinet somewhere. I'm not sure exactly what the pose is going to be just yet. Cap. You got to be a little picky on Cap. Now, I haven't done a full review video on this Captain America, but the articulation on it, the garments, the clothing, the tailoring, he's not super articulated. So if you want something super articulated, Iron Man is absolutely the way to go. If you want to pick up either one of these figures, they're available right now at Sideshow Collectibles. I'll put a link in the description below. You can check them out for yourselves. Definitely check them out. They've got all kinds of other figures, but I'm telling you, these two together on the shelf are going to look amazing, and I'm super excited to have them both. Just for fun, I thought I'd throw in the Winter Soldier in here because, you know, what the heck, why not? You know, Iron Man fighting Cap because Bucky killed his mom and that whole thing, Civil War, which I gotta say, Civil War is an amazing movie. I actually need to do a review on this Winter Soldier here very soon, but I'm telling you, just all these, I don't know, all three of these guys posed up together I think are going to be great. I'm super excited about it. Stay tuned to my Instagram. If you haven't followed me on Instagram already, I will be posting photos of this figure for you guys to check out. It's at Jedha Patrol, very easy to find. But let's go ahead and throw Iron Man in a couple poses and show you what he can do. I hope you guys enjoyed this video of Mark 46 concept art Iron Man, because I'm telling you right now, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm pretty happy with it. I like it. I think if you want Iron Man in your collection, this is a great one to get for retail right now versus trying to get something on the secondary market paying for, you know, $500, $600, upwards of $800 for the Mark 47, which is insane. Don't even understand that. But I'm really excited about this figure. I'm happy to have it in the collection. If you haven't already joined the patrol, now's a great time to do it. Hit that thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button, and check us out on Facebook and Jedha's Patrol. There's a link in the description below. We have all kinds of awesome collectors going on in there, and we'd love to have you in there. As always, guys, collect what you like. We'll see you next time.